Look at the detail on these guns. Welcome my fellow VR nerds, this is Eyes on VR, where we talk all things Oculus Quest, and we have a little talk about some other VR stuff too, but today we're going to take an in-depth look at one of my personal favourite shooters on the Oculus Quest. It's Contractors.
He's down. Oh, so shiny. Grenade out! Oh, I don't believe it! Oh, moving! Oh, that's a headshot. Be free, Willis!
Before we get started, PC VR players, this review is for you as well. Everything relates to PC VR at the same time, even though I will be playing this on the Oculus Quest 2. Now, there's no patch out for the Oculus Quest 2 to take advantage of its extra hardware over the Quest 1. So Quest 1 users, what you see here is what you're going to get on the Quest 1 as well. But PC VR users, obviously, what you see here is obviously going to look 10 times better on PC VR. Just look at the world textures, the buildings, the cars, etc. It's all going to look a lot clearer and 10 times better. But the clarity on those weapons, whew, I don't know whether you can beat that. Okay, I have been looking so forward to taking an in-depth look at Contractors. Ever since I downloaded it from SideQuest for the Oculus Quest, I've just been addicted to it. It's one of my go-to shooters on the Quest, without a doubt. Now, before we get into it though, I just want to say Contractors is from SideQuest. You have to download it from SideQuest to your Oculus Quest. It's not officially on the Oculus Quest store, purely for the fact because it's still in beta, that's all. Contractors has a lot of stuff that makes it the same as other VR shooters, and I'm going to talk about all of that stuff. But first, I'm going to talk about the stuff that makes Contractors unique in itself. And to be honest, there is a lot of it. There is a lot of stuff here that comes from the developers that just shows that they care and they want you to have fun, whether you're online or whether you're offline. They want you to have fun playing this game and get into it, and it really, really shows. There's so much going on that's different. Just to begin with, the hub area. The hub area is huge in this game. Whether you're online or offline, you can access the hub area. And it's got everything that you could possibly want. It's got shooting lanes, just like a normal gun range would, so you can practice your accuracy, test out different weapons, because you have access to all of the loadouts and every single weapon, so you can customize your loadouts and test out your weapons all at the same time. You can also test out your efficiency while moving with weapons, turning, shooting different targets, because there's a massive area with quite a few mini games for different types of weapons that you can use, little missions where you shoot moving targets that go up and down like you would in a Gun Club VR. But then you can go into a whole nother section of the hub through a doorway, and there's ammo boxes to restock all your magazines, even though you have infinite ammo in the hub. But there's also some desks, like this desk, a nice innocent looking desk with a button. But what does the button do? It spawns AI enemies for you to fight, so you can practice your combat skills on targets that are actually moving rather than just cardboard pop-up. And these guys are tough. They take hit. You really have to know your stuff and be careful around these guys, because they take damage, and they take it well before they go down. You also have another room where you've got a heavy vest, a normal vest, and you've also got a full model here that you can shoot. And when you shoot, and the TVs on the end show you what kind of damage you're doing, which is a great way to know when you're using weapons what's doing the most damage and where shooting people is going to do the most damage, which I think is a great way to strategize what kind of weapon you're using to where the most effective area to shoot is. Don't get me wrong, nothing is going to substitute for a headshot, but it's good to know what kind of damage you're doing to someone on the various areas that you're hitting them at. And that's still not all for the hub area. There's another desk, a bigger desk, same kind of button, but what does it do? Yes, the absolute classic, it spawns zombies. These zombies have a lot of effort put into them. From being able to lose legs, lose arms, lose their head, they also can crawl across the ground as well. And this is a lot of extra animation, this is a lot of extra memory usage that they don't need to do. Like, they don't need to do this. This hub area could just be a shooting range where you select all of your weapons and then you start shooting at some targets. But it's not. You get AI enemies, you get zombies, you get data, you get a way to practice with everything. And I think those little details are so great. That is the kind of thing that I'm saying shows they're caring about this game and your experience within it. But even after the zombies, the AI enemies, the shooting range, the shooting lanes, the ways to practice your targeting, there's still more. There's still more. There's an entire course that you can run within this game with a timer on. You just run around the course, shooting all the targets as best you can, as fast as you can, see what your best time is. You can challenge your friends, you can try and beat their record. I mean, how cool is that? Another massive area for you to use that they didn't need to put in this hub area. This is like a game in itself. And these guys really seem to like hub areas, and I think that's great, because when you're waiting for a new match, when you're doing multiplayer, you get a massive hub like this. Everyone can walk around, everybody can talk, and you can even shoot hoops with some basketballs as well if you want. But if you go into the other room, there's an entire shooting course down there for you to do and targets to practice on. And what's excellent is in the shooting course, you can kill each other if you so choose. So they know that when people are waiting for games to load up, or a host to decide what game they're going to do next, what game mode they're going to do, what map, there's something to do. There's something to keep you amused at all times. If you just want to talk, you just want to shoot some hoops, you just want to shoot everything in sight, you can. Now, what's very nice in this is the loadout screen. You can have 3 separate loadouts, which is really, really helpful, because as soon as you drop into a map, you can say, oh, I don't need this M4A1. What I really need in this close quarters map is a shotgun. So you just go loadout 2, you've got what you need. There's a variety of stuff in here as well. Great choices of weapons. All the classics, the M4s, the AKs, the G36s, they've got SCARs as well. You've got every other type. You've got your assault rifle, you've got your shotguns, you've got your carbines, you've got your sniper rifles. And after you've created your 3 different loadouts, you're ready to go for any kind of map that's going to come your way, or any kind of game mode. Now, what's really nice is it's the same as others like Onward and Pavlov. It's all point based. How many points you can have is how many pieces of equipment you can have and what your weapons are. But also you can choose different armor as well, from a heavy vest, which is, you know, makes you slower, but you're protected. A medium vest, which is good all round, and light vest, which is not great armor, but whew, you are flying through a map. But there's a nice little bar in the corner that tells you about your armor, and it tells you about your speed, so you can keep track of that stuff. And when you are selecting a weapon, it will show you ballistic information. It will show you what kind of bullet drop it has over time, what kind of recoil it has, and the amount of damage that it does per shot, which is really great and helpful information when you're trying to sort out an effective loadout. Now we get to the biggest thing. Maybe not the biggest thing, but it's a big deal. In this game, there is one thing you can do that just... everyone needs to take a note of this. Look. That's right, jumping. You can jump in this game. That changes everything. It changes the way you traverse the maps, it changes the combat, it changes everything. Absolutely fantastic, from jumping behind cover to jumping out of cover to being at cover that's too high for you and you can jump up and shoot, jump up and shoot. Absolutely brilliant. People have got me that way because you're not thinking about it. In other shooters on the Quest, you're not jumping. People aren't jumping. You can't jump in some. And with this one you can. You don't even think about it. And when you know that you can, it's like someone just took down a barrier in front of you and went, go, have fun. And it's so awesome. Here's one of my favorite features of the game. You can pump a pump action shotgun with one hand. That is 100% badass. Now, what I also really like about this game is the maps. The maps have so many different levels. It's not just a flat level that you run around. And I know other games like Onward and Pavlov, they do have kind of different levels, but there's a lot going on in these maps. And I think that really adds to how good the multiplayer can be in this game. A lot of people say, you know, Onward is where you go for the mill sim kind of crowd, and that's very, very true. Onward has the biggest type of audience there that comes in and engages in a way where they say, right, I'm going to play Onward, I'm going to treat this like it's real, I'm going to be tactical, I'm going to be precise, that's how I'm going to play. If Onward is Rainbow Six Siege, then people say Contractors is Call of Duty. It doesn't attract the audience of enthusiasts like Onward does, but I have had times in here where people are playing very tactically, and this game works for that as well. You know, it's completely open for absolute crazy nonsense, but also a lot of tactical play, and I really like that versatility about it as well, because you can get into some very intense gunfights in this game that are an absolute rush and so fun to do. And just like Onward, if you've got the right team, oh, it all just comes together in such a magical way. Now, if we're saying Contractors is like Call of Duty, this next ability definitely confirms that. You can slide. When you crouch while you're sprinting, you can slide into cover, slide out of cover, slide to dodge enemy fire. Now we're going to talk about something interesting, something that we at Eyes on VR really love, and of course, as always, that is
guns. Lots of guns.
Look at the detail on these guns. I mean, come on, that's insane. These guns have been this high quality detail since its release. They're just such HD textures. Just looking at them is a beautiful thing. They're just absolutely beautiful and fantastic to hold and aim up down your sights. In VR, they just look beautiful, and it just really makes all the difference. It's one of the things that really keeps me coming back to this game. Not only how the weapons look, but the animations as well. Say you're playing Onward, you kind of just drag your hand over a weapon to cock it. Not in Contractors. When you press that button to do it, it locks in that animation and it pulls down, and it feels so much better. It feels solid, it feels real. Absolutely great. Another thing that keeps me coming back. I know Pavlov does the same with its animations, but there's something in here that they've just got weight behind them. These animations, oof, absolutely brilliant. And to add on top to how good and solid these animations feel, the guns feel exactly the same. They feel solid, they have weight to them, they're great to shoot, great to fire, they feel great. Some of the best feeling VR guns I've ever shot before. This next feature is something I think every company should look at when they're creating a multiplayer shooter in VR. When you hold down the button on your radio, it shows you where all of your team are. It comes up with little icons that show you where each member of your team is on the map. And that is so helpful. When you've got sights on someone in the distance and you're not sure if they're friend or foe, this is the perfect way to tell. It's quick and easy, really helpful. Now we're getting into things that are a bit more typical for a VR shooter that Contractors has. You know, it's got a bunch of maps that you can play of varying different places, from Dust Town to a Metropolis type map, you know, desert, etc. It's all the same stuff. They've got a lot of game modes as well, you know, classic Counter-Strike type game mode where it's plant the bomb or defuse the bomb. You've got what is Battlefield's domination, where you just hold a point for as long as you can to gain more points, or by killing other enemies. You've got your team deathmatch, you've got your deathmatch, you've got your gun game, all that stuff that's the same for other VR shooters as well. So if you are looking for just that typical stuff you get from a VR shooter, don't worry, it is here. Now, I've said a lot of good stuff about this game, and you know, I'm not just here to gush over it. Even though I do love it, it does have its flaws. If the sniper rifles, no scopes. You just don't get scopes from them. They do not have like your 12 times scope for anything. So sniping in this game, that is a no-no, I'm afraid. Now there's one thing that I really do not like in this game. It commits what is to me a cardinal sin, and that is when you pop out a magazine, what's in it? Nothing. It's empty every time. Whether there's bullets in it or there isn't bullets in it, there's nothing. When it comes to assault rifles, nothing. When it comes to pistols, nothing. And that is such a damn shame, because that is part of the rush for me when I play a VR shooter. Is you're in a firefight, you go and you're shooting, bang, bang, bang. You're like, do I have ammo left? Should I change? Do I have time? The enemy's coming my way. Pop out the mag, check it, there's still bullets. Brilliant, you can keep going. Well, you know that you've got shots if someone comes up to you real fast. In this game, no chance. No way to know, I'm afraid. I'm hoping that's something that gets patched later. These creators are putting out patches and improving things all the time. It's tough for me to get past that bullet thing in the magazine. I just breaks that immersion every single time for me. And that's it. We're all done. I don't think there's a more in-depth review of Contractors on the internet right now, I have to admit. And what a great game it is. From those HD gun textures, which are just absolutely beautiful to look at. The game sounds amazing, it plays amazing, the weapon handling is really realistic, feels really true to form. The variety of maps is really good. That elevation I talked about, different layers of the maps, absolutely brilliant. A lot of height, a lot of differential there that you can play with, and that creates some really great firefights. Lots of different game modes, plenty to keep you amused. All this extra stuff that you get in the player hubs, whether it's a multiplayer hub, lobby, or whether you're just offline and you just want to practice, there's so much to do here. This game for free on the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Quest 2 is absolutely worth it all day long. If you haven't downloaded Contractors, go do it now. Start playing it. You'll have absolutely no regrets on it. It's just an absolutely fantastic game, top quality for a game that is free. You're going to have to take my gripes with this game with a little bit of a grain of salt, because obviously it is still in beta, so these things could be patched out. Bullets not being in the magazine, it could be patched out. Not having scopes for the sniper rifles, it could be patched out. So it's here and there, but at the moment I have reviewed it on version 0.67.6 on October 2020. So yeah, keep an eye out for any future updates from the creators as well. So I hope it's been useful for all of you. It's been really fun to make. It's taken a lot of hard work, these longer videos, but I find it to be worth it. It's really enjoyable to see them when they're finished and get your reactions and keep talking to you guys as well, because you guys have been interacting a lot with me at the moment, especially over on Instagram. Go check me out on there, just at Eyes on VR. We've also got a lot of other great content on the channel. The content is getting better all the time. I'm trying to improve the videos every single time I put one out. So go check out some of my other videos on the channel. If you like the video, drop me a like, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you want to see more. I got a lot of good stuff coming up on the channel from other gun stocks, pistol stocks, and a lot of other VR game reviews as well. We're going to tackle Onward, but next week we're going to do a bit of a Halloween themed thing because, well, why not? It's Halloween, and I love Halloween. But what game will I be covering, playing, and probably peeing myself while playing? Well, you'll have to come back next week and find out. And it looks like that's it, so I'm out, and I will see you all next week.